Good morning, everyone. As you can see, I'm sitting in front of the wall of fame of my children here, my grandchildren, and the one young boy I take care of as well. Ah, so how hard was it yesterday? Not too bad. It was actually a lot cooler than I thought it was going to be. And wondered again, okay. Then it was overcast for part of the time, which was good. With the amount of time again that the children spent in the pool, including me, I found my bathing suit. I don't know if I mentioned that, but the day before I looked for my bathing suit, I knew I brought it. I haven't worn a bathing suit in years and years and years. And I knew I packed it. Couldn't find it. Then I went to the bathroom yesterday. Looking at the wall, there's a bunch of hooks, and I had hung a few things there. And I'm going, there's my bathing suit hanging right there. I just sat there laughing. And I said, oh, look, I'm not that far gone yet. I did bring my bathing suit. I just forgot where I hung it. Oh, my gosh. Anyway, so there you go. Yeah, it was so much fun. Sadly, the one boy, everybody's gone through that tummy bug, except for me. I have not gotten it. Neither did the dad of the house yet. And so he went home early. Suddenly, he was after the boot. It was fine all day long. I knew in the morning that he'd had a bit of a rough morning at home. Then he was all fine here, no problem, until about 3 o'clock, and suddenly he was doubling. Going, oh, Rosie, and I said, oh dear me, I think you got the same as everybody else now. You want to go home? I'm not. If a child is sick, I am not going to try. Well, it's only another hour and a half. I could just try, and he could just. No, nope, nope, nope. And I said, do you want to go home, or do you want to go in Rosie's room and just watch TV until you go home? What do you want to do? I want to go home. So he ended up getting a hold of his mom. She says, I'm going to come and get him. I was expecting a call anyway. So, yes, yeah. Anywho, I'm sure she asked him in the morning, do you want to just stay home? Or, oh, I want to go, I want to go. Yes. So, this is one thing. I remember as a child, I was never sent to school sick. If I did not feel well, Mom would say, just stay home. Yes? Well, I grew up at a time where, all right, what was I? I mean, she wouldn't leave me home alone if I was really little or anything like that. But I remember, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old or more when I stayed home alone. Yeah, my mom could let me stay home alone. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't going to do anything. I was sick. What do you do when you're sick, right? Stay in bed, sleep all day. Yeah, no, we didn't have TV. Wouldn't start till 4 o'clock in Switzerland when I was growing up. It was an interesting thing. Oh, not, I mean, literally, there was nothing on TV until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And oh, if I felt well enough, if you just had a cold or just, of course, what was I doing? Reading. Ah, yes. Okay. I'm amazed. Also, if my children were sick, I didn't care how many sick days they already had or this or that. My children were, okay, most of them did really well in school. Well, they all did well in school. Just some of them didn't follow the homework thing. One of them. That caused some problems later in high school. But I wouldn't send my children. Just, no, no, no. Why would any parent send their child to school sick. It's miserable being sick, okay? And then, well, what happens right here? Well, they still all got together, and everybody got it. Yes, everybody got it. Well, I didn't. And so be it. But this is a small group here, okay? I don't get it. My parents would not just say, well, I have children. I'm going to have to let my work know. I got to stay home with my child today. Done. Why would anybody send their child to school sick? I'm not getting that. Weird one. Perfect attendance. Are you kidding me? Okay, whatever. Pump them full of medication. This and that. Beware too, how you already get your children used to all that stuff. Little tummy ache, right? I need something for my stomach. I want some medicine for my stomach. That wasn't the little boy, it was my littlest granddaughter. She's already had it. She's over it, right? And mommy says, I don't think you need any medicine. I said, you need to go to the bathroom. No. And yeah, sure enough, 5 minutes later, right? Okay, tummy ache was over. Yes, and since everybody had it now, yeah, I don't think it was constipation. It was a tummy bug. All right. Oh, it's funny. It's funny to watch people, I'm telling you. I have to make this early today. It's still dark outside because we're having a yard sale for the next 2-3 days. And everybody's excited about it. Kids want to sell lemonade too, or give it away. We'll see what happens, but we don't have any cups. Don't know how that's going to work. Anywho, let's get going here. Otherwise, I don't have much to say. It's anyway, nothing new in the news. Nothing new otherwise, right? Yes? Okay. I found my bathing suit. It's wonderful. I hope John's doing okay today. He might not come. Of course, I have him on my mind, right? Yes. Oh, poor little one. Not feeling well. All right, we're in the book of Ruth. 2. Ruth 2. Ruth, it's another super chapter. Are they all super chapters? Is this, well, why? Huh. Interesting. This book is completely differently titled. Every chapter has a super title. Okay, 2. Ruth in the fields of Boaz. Naomi had a kinsman on her husband's side. Well-to-do, yes, right, Coda? And Elimelech's clan. His name was Boaz. Ruth the Moabitess said to Naomi, let me go into the fields and glean ears of corn in the footsteps of some man who will look on me with favor. Here we go. This is all about what? I was hoping we'd go. All right, Daniel. I know. Yeah, I guess husbands were important at that time. Had to have someone to look after you. She replied, go, daughter. So she set out and went to glean in the fields behind the reapers. Chance led her to a plot of land belonging to Boaz of Elimelech's clan. Boaz, as it happened, had just come from Bethlehem. Yahweh be with you, he said to the reapers. Yahweh bless you, they replied. Boaz said to a servant of his who was in charge of the reapers, to whom does this young woman belong? And the servant in charge of the reapers replied, the girl is the Moabitess the one who came back with Naomi from the plains of Moab. She said, "Please let me glean and pick up what falls from the sheaves behind the reapers." Thus she came, and here she stayed with hardly a rest from morning until now. Boaz said to Ruth, "Listen to me, daughter. You must not go gleaning in any other field. You must not go away from here. Stay close to my workwomen. Keep your eyes on whatever part of the field they are reaping and follow behind. I have forbidden my men to molest you. And if you are thirsty, go to the pitchers and drink what the servants have drawn." Oh, wow, a good guy? There's a good man? Huh? Oh, oh, let's see. Oh, I have little faith, right? Ye of little faith? I'm one of them right now. Ruth fell on her face, prostrated herself, and said, "How have I attracted your favor for you to notice me? Who am I? Only a foreigner." Boaz replied, "I have been told all about the way you have behaved to your mother-in-law since your husband's death, and how you left your own father and mother and the land where you were born to come to a people of whom you previously knew nothing. Of whom you knew previous, of whom, let's say this, you were born come to a people of whom you previously knew nothing. May Yahweh repay you for what you have done, and may you be richly rewarded by Yahweh, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come for refuge." She said, "My Lord, I hope you will always look on me with favor. You have comforted and encouraged me, though I am not even the equal of one of your workwomen." Hmm. Okay, let's see where this is going. When it was time to eat, Boaz said to her, "Come and eat some of this bread and dip your piece in the vinegar." Vinegar. Interesting. Ruth sat down beside the reapers, and Boaz made a heap of roasted grain for her. She ate till her hunger was satisfied, and she had some left over. When she had got up to glean, Boaz gave orders to his workpeople, "Let her glean among the sheaves themselves. Do not molest her. And be sure you pull a few ears of corn out of the bundles and drop them. Let her glean them, and do not scold her." So she gleaned in the field till evening. Then she beat out what she had gleaned, and it came to about a bushel of barley. Taking it with her, she went back to the town. Her mother-in-law saw what she had gleaned. Ruth also took out what she had kept after eating all she wanted and gave that to her. Her mother-in-law said, "Where have you been gleaning today? Where have you been working? Blessed be the man who took notice of you." Ruth told her mother-in-law in whose field she had been working. "The name of the man with whom I have been working today," she said, "is Boaz." Naomi said to her daughter-in-law, "May he be blessed by Yahweh, who does not withhold his faithful love from living or dead." "This man," Naomi added, "is a close relation of ours. He is one of those who have the right of redemption over us." Ruth the Moabitess said to her mother-in-law, "He also said, 'Stay with my workpeople until they have finished my whole harvest.'" Naomi said to Ruth, her daughter-in-law, "It is better for you, daughter, to go with his workwomen than to go to some other field where you might be ill-treated." So she stayed with Boaz's workwomen and gleaned until the barley and wheat harvest were finished, and she went on living with her mother-in-law. So, interesting part here. It's like I've read a couple of the other overheads, and of course the guy's gonna marry her. What's wrong with that, right? Yes, okay. Well, here it is. I guess we'll find out if Boaz will take in the mother-in-law as well, Naomi, right? Or not? Well, it sounds like these women are having a bit of a hard time. If Ruth has to go into a field and, kind of pick up what's left over, okay? So it sounds like that. Yeah. All right. Okay. So what's going on there? Or is this the purpose of what she's doing, Ruth is doing, and Naomi kind of tells her to go do, in a way, to what? Find a husband? Hmm. Interesting. And then Boaz calls her his daughter, or calls her a daughter first. What is that? Okay, it sounds like he's an older man and she's a younger woman, more like the age of what a daughter would be to him. Uh, so what's going on here? Is this again? I don't want to be negative about it or whatever, but and see that the way the story's written, very beautiful. But is this kind of grooming from both sides? Why the long tail? Hmm? If it's just about the guy wants to marry her now, and she's good with marrying an older dude, right? Because obviously, okay. So again, are Naomi and Ruth that bad off that she has to go and work from sun up to sundown in a field, go behind uh, the women that Boaz has hired in his field, I guess, or who are his servants, or who knows who they are, right? And pick up the leftovers. Are they off that bad, really? Or is there another scheme behind the whole thing again? Right? And here's Boaz, and how he's. Ruth asks, well, why did you notice me? Right? Why did you favor me? Right? And let me and make sure that I'm safe, right? That nobody molests me. Oh, that has to be mentioned. That's mentioned twice. Really? So what? The men of Israel? They look, there's a woman doesn't have a husband. This and that. We'll do with her what we want. Eh? Yeah. Really? That's how it was. As God's people, right? Yes. And don't go anywhere else. You might not be ill-treated, and might not. They might scold you for doing what you're doing. Really, picking up the garbage from the ground of the barley. What would have been laying there anyway? That's how the Israelites were. What's going on here again, right? I don't know. I have no idea. It's just a tale. What kind of tale is it? And how am I being, again, so I read what was ahead of time. I know a little bit about the Israelites now, according to what's in there, in the Bible. And I'm already, if one were to only read the book of Ruth, right, then one would, oh, wow, except for, there's a couple of things in there that gives one pause. Yes? Well, at that time, it's not like it is now. Right? As a woman, you can make it just fine on your own, right? Yes. Still not easy if you have children, right? And your husband just goes up and leaves, it does its own thing, or well, who knows, right? It's not always the men, right? But whoever of the parents takes care of the children, that should tell one something. Okay, done. Uh, so yeah, so at that time, right? She's still young. Sounds like she doesn't have any children. Ruth does. And so about yesterday, right? I asked, why did the husband and the sons die? Right? Why did they move off? Really? Interestingly enough, I came across an interesting vaccination for preteens. It's called the Palorimar virus. Palorimar virus, something like that. And it's a virus associated with many STDs. Oh. So, and can cause Yes, cancer. Of course, cancer of what? Okay, of several cancers. The ways, by the way, in the yeah, it's continuously. They must have just come out with this vaccine. Okay, must have just been approved or something. Because I've seen, even though I click it out every time, and I tell Facebook it's irrelevant. I don't need to know about that. I don't have any preteens anymore, or I wouldn't anyway. I wouldn't. I think that I raised my children better than that. Yes, yeah, there you go. But interesting vaccine that preteens need. Mm, why? On the other hand, I also mentioned yesterday on how many young girls and boys are being molested sexually. Maybe it's better for them to actually get that vaccine. Yes? Not because they're being promiscuous, not because they're not taught by their parents, but because they're being what? Exposed to adults who are taking advantage of them. And a child can't defend itself against that. They can't. Done. That's done. Interesting, right? Oh, so Naomi's husband and his sons, why did they die so early? Right? It doesn't say. It don't tell us why. Why did they move off? Was there some kind of a disease going around in that family that the Israelites realized, and that's why they had to move off? They had to. They didn't just leave on their own. They had to. And the guys somehow were infected with something because of what? Well, I think by now we know that it wasn't the women who were sleeping around, right? During the times of the Israelites, it was the men. And they go and visit whom? Outside of Israel? And how does that get spread? Okay. I wondered, right? Yeah. Okay, so here is Ruth. She's definitely looking for a husband. She probably realized, wow, I'm back with the Israelites, but nobody's taking care of us, really, right? Why not? So and obviously, that older man who owns it all is well to do, has taken notice of her. Okay, has heard of her loyalty and constancy towards her mother-in-law. Okay, recognizes her as a good woman. Okay, but he calls her daughter. Ah, bothers me. Right? Yes, I don't think there's anything wrong for Ruth to marry again. But on how is this done again? Anyway, don't know. I know how it works in this world, right? Yes? In this world, at this time. Anyway, interesting. I want to read more. I have to wait till tomorrow. Oh, yard sale. We got to get out there early. Yes. Oh. We were talking about hoarding yesterday, my daughter and I, and she says, I'm a hoarder. I'm a hoarder of paper. You are. She says, I can't get rid of paper. Yes, I can't get rid of, or uh, trying to save everything that I know I can still make something out of, right? And then it doesn't cost me any money. I do things with the least amount of money, this, that, and so we're kind of talking a little bit about stuff like that, and interesting. It's a very interesting conversation. on how we are attracted to certain material things that one can't really look at hoarding. Okay, this isn't hoarding. I mean, hoarding. And if anybody has watched the show Hoarders, you're going, "Oh my God, what happened here?" And actually, I have a nephew who was exactly like that on my husband's side. Oh my gosh, it was a disaster ever since I've known that guy. High IQ, unbelievable high IQ, and it just never went anywhere. His life didn't really go anywhere. Drugs were involved, and then this hoarding thing that he had going. I mean, it was exactly like these shows. Unbelievable. Supposedly, his dad's exactly the same way. I've seen pictures of, oh my gosh, it's like, oh wow, people live like this? Yes, they do. It's true. Anyway, okay. And I came across a big thing of uh, oats, quick oats, and I looked and went, oh, now look at the date of that. There was another small one in front of it. Looked at the date, it was from 21. God, oh my gosh, I thought, oh my gosh, dear girl, what do you have on the shelf here that should have been used up a long time ago, right? And I thought, well, it's still closed up. I opened it up, I smelled, I'm going, oh, it still smells perfectly fine. But it was, I'm going, yeah, this is still, so I made oat flour out of it. Okay, so this is me, right? Anywhere I go, if I happen to cook, just I first look always for what? That things that need to be used up. So I made oat flour, and she has this. I don't know how people live without a blender, a proper blender, but she does. She has this one little blender, just a tiny one that you can make about a cup and a half of something. Right? And it's been great. I've been using that thing all over the place, and it's working great. Well, you make do with what you got. A little one's better than nothing at all, right? Yes. So I made some oat flour and I made breadsticks yesterday. Also, she has some yeast that needs to be used up, and it's not. I can get it activated, but it's just not quite right, working right. And my daughter says, "It's so old, Mom. Just throw it away and use the other one." Anyway, but I'm going to get this yeast to work still. Right? Yeah. So I made breadsticks. They're delicious. Right? So I'm going to make some more and use up all those oats, right? Old oats that, yeah, it take a long time to make oatmeal every day. I don't like oatmeal anyway. It's one thing I can't eat. Make oat flour. Make oat flour, right? Make some regular flour into it and make bread. Yes. It was delicious. Everybody loved it. Anywho, so there it is. Talking about reaping, glean, the leftovers behind, yes, the others. Yeah. And still, she went home with a bushel. A bushel. That's a lot. A bushel of barley is quite a bit. Mm, perfectly fine. Still. Ah. And Naomi tells her what? God's been good to you. Yes. Mm. And Boaz told her the same thing. So we should stick with, right? Yes, on how God's involved in all that. Yes, right? Uh, the rewards from heaven. Sometimes they're so little, right? Or rewards that are, some other people would just consider toil and work, right? Yes. Gotta be grateful for the little things. Than not getting the great rewards, right? Yes. Lots of money, this and that. Oh, which brings me to something else. I saw too that some kind of currency thing that they want to push through it. I don't even know if any of that is true, but if you want to be a part of that, you have to have a chip in you. This is one reason I try to live on practically no money at all, right? How can I get through this civilization here where I live with people having so much, this and that, all over the whole country, right? How can I live, right, with their leftovers thrown away, yeah, in any area, right? And that's something working pretty good. I'm not getting no chip. I'm not getting vaccinated for stuff. I'm not gonna get no chip either. No, thank you. Ugh. Oh, though, again, for money, okay? But again, if there is some way to locate a child, but then again, if you do that, sounds like a great idea, right? To have your child chipped or something, right? Like they do dogs and cats, or dogs at least, as far as I know. But here's the thing: what if then they look for that chip? I'm sure it always will go in the same place on a child. They start to cut open their arms and take the chip out, right? Yes, whoever has these absolutely awful intentions towards children. So, what's the best thing with that new vaccine to give to preteens? What's the better way? Huh? Protect your children. Make sure you don't leave them just whatever in whose ever hands and this and that. Make sure you have time for them, you know what's going on. And teach them properly. What's wrong with abstinence until marriage? Huh? Does one really have to have so many partners beforehand? This, that, all that baggage, broken heart, break hearts. Pedophiles, do they really need to be protected? How many children are being sexually abused out there? I think the number is staggering. Staggering. Much worse than we think. It's not just the ones kidnapped. They all that. Like I said, I bet in every family there's at least one pedophile that's grooming your children, who's got their eyes on your children, just waiting for a moment to take advantage of them. Then even when it gets found out, I don't know. Yeah, I do. That's a sad state of affairs. Very sad. Well, anyway, so here in this little passage of Ruth, all kinds of things one could talk about what's going on in today's world, right? Yes, yeah. Making it without money, wouldn't that be something? Yeah, if everybody were just saying, yeah, we're going to boycott all that. Let's see where that's going to go. Right? Yes, I think in the United States, there is enough garbage every day. People throw things out, this and that. Right? Have so much extra in their home they don't need, that one could easily have a boycott across the whole country and say, we're not spending any money. We're going to reuse and use what we got. Man, I wonder. Okay. I'm like Ruth. I'm not looking for a husband, though. No, thank you. Got one. Had one. Been there. Done that. Yeah. Well, we'll see where all this is going, right? In Ruth. Yeah. Ugh, gotta wake up. Bet this is a pretty funny video. Mm. All right, that's it. See my wall of fame? All the children here did these. Yes, yeah, talented. And they've been working on more clay. The clay we made ourselves as well. Working out pretty good. Working on some of the, trying to put things together. Yes, yes. And I'm firing it in the oven at about 425 degrees. It's just low fired then, yeah, but it's working. And they made a bunch of undersea castles now. My daughter gave us a bunch of shells that she found that they had collected over the years going to the beach. Just, Mom, I don't know what I want to do with all these. Here, you might. Yes. So again, they're making little clay sculptures and now little castles. And my youngest granddaughter made one. She says, Cruzy, that's for you. Because I made a turtle. I made an owl in the nest. And she says, Cruzy, can I have those? I said, yes, you can have those. And my oldest granddaughter comes. She says, why does she get two things and I don't get none? I said, I'll make you something too. And so she came and she said, that's for you, Cruzy. Made this for you. Take home. I'm going, oh. Anyway, so again, beautiful little sculptures. They come up with all kinds of things. Then we paint, after they're done, we paint them, and then I'll spray them with a gloss, and it looks beautiful. I'll show you guys some when they're all done. And didn't cost us except for the gloss. Not even paint. I had the paint that was given to me. My daughter found some more paint that needs to be used up while she was working through all the stuff for the yard sale. So there you go. It was great. It's great. And then the shells didn't cost us a dime. We made our own clay. Yeah. Didn't spend a dime. Kids are having greatest time with this stuff. There you go. Right? Yes? Ah. Mm. So God is with us. Right? Yes? Okay. All right. God's love and blessings always. May He protect you. Yes? And I'll talk to you all another time.